Hello folks. Since the filming of the following video, we have learned of the sad passing of Wendy Hickson. Wendy was a very kind, very generous, very pleasant member of our community. Her loss is going to be felt not only by myself, but also many others in the community who she kindly sent gifts to, supported our channels, and was just there in the chat as a nice, pleasant breath of fresh air. Wendy, this is for you, my love. May you rest in peace.
Shut up and sit down.
Hello gang, Colin here, Festa 67's workshop. And yes, I've been sent a kit by Wendy Hickson with an H. Yes, it's the Ducati 1199 Panigale Tricolore, folks. Kit number 14132, as you can see. Got a couple of nice coloured pictures there on the side of the bike. Shall we have a look inside? There you go. Bung that down. First up, we've got the tyres there. The obligatory Revell screwdriver and all of the tubing and polycaps. Do a bit of sanding on them tyres just to get rid of the seam, like we do on all our bikes, peeps. But yeah, so that's the tyres. We've then got a nice sprue there of all the white parts, all the fairings, exhaust pipes, fuel tank, two halves, but we'll show you how we join them together, folks. Next up, you've got a little packet of clear parts there. Little screen, various lights, the wheels for the paddock stand. So keep an eye on that. We then got grey sprue there with all the engine, exhaust pipes, radiator, hoses, chain, etc. So we'll be drilling out these disc brakes as well, folks. So keep an eye out for that. Okay. And then lastly, we got a black sprue there that's got the wheels, rear end of the frame, ECU inserts, rear swing arm. So yeah, plenty of bits and pieces there to be getting on with. Nice bit of detail work we can do on these as well. So there'll be a bit of finagling on this one. But I'm going to do it out of the box, folks. Do like the colour scheme. So yeah. Got some paint masks, and we've also got some decals there. Also got these lovely decals for the wheel rims as well, folks. So yeah, a nice set of masks as well. Nice pair of wing mirrors, and then stapled on the side is the canopy, or the front fairing, sorry, should I say. Got some nice instructions there, and there you go, there's the front fairing there. Look at that, I like that idea. Nice set of instructions there, very concise. You can't go wrong with a Tamiya bike, folks. Really is easy. You also get your tech tips there, so you can't go wrong with that. And Tamiya bikes, you really cannot go wrong with, folks. The instructions are pretty straightforward. There's your tips if you're using airbrushes, bits and pieces like that. And we'll have a look at the instruction manual. The usual paints on the front there. Paints that you're going to need to complete the kit, and a little list of recommended tools if you're new to the hobby. Very simply laid out there, exploded diagrams of all your engine components, all your exhaust pipes and your radiator there, how things are going together. Then you've got your radiator, your chain, your swing arm, and you've got the rear brake mechanisms and stuff like that, your coil springs, all your hoses, your wheels, your front end there. You'll see little black lines on the instructions there. That is for you to lay your hose on, so you cut it to the correct length. Really love that idea. And then getting towards the back part there, your tank halves, your rear frame halves, fairing with the masking. Keep an eye on that as well, because it comes in handy when you paint. Tells you what masks go where. Same with the side fairings there. You'll see the greyed out areas. Just lets you know what masks you need to put where and how you can go about that, folks. it's to screw the fairing together, and then on the back is your decals, folks. So there you go. That's a quick review of what's in the box. We'll start building. As you can see there, I'm sanding off any nubs, having cut it off the sprue. Just go round with a little sanding sponge. Use your cutters. Cut as near as possible. First, I'll leave about 1 millimetre of sprue poking out. And then use your sanding stick to refine that back, okay? You'll see in the background there I've got red and blue handled pliers. The red ones I use to cut from the sprue, and then the blue ones I use just to get the nub as close as possible so you don't do as much sanding. I'm using a bit of Tamiya white cap glue around the edges of this engine case there, just so that as I press it together I can use the kit's own plastic to squeeze out. And then what that will do is if there are any slight undulations between the joint, just let the kit plastic fill it in, folks. So we'll just line these up with the tabs inside and then just give it a little squeeze like that. Okay. Now I've got the exhaust system going together. I'm going to skip through the build as quickly as I can. Just be careful, like I say, you've got a couple of bits of exhaust there that join together. And what we'll do then later on in the build is we'll create a weld bead along there, just so that it looks deliberate. So I'm not too worried about the join there because I'm going to heat it up and put a little weld along there just to make it look factory. So we'll just squeeze that together, ooze a little bit of white cap out, and that will fill any imperfections there are. And like I say, that will just enable us then quickly go around and sand, and then I can put a little weld bead in so that when I detail the exhaust in the later stages, it looks like it's been welded together. Quite a few pieces to this exhaust, so just keep referring to your instructions. If this is your first bike build, check and double check just to make sure that you're getting the pieces in the correct orientation, folks, okay? Also, let it dry as well. You know, if that means leaving it overnight, do so. Just let it dry so that when you come to dry fit this exhaust, it's not going to fall apart in your hands, okay? Normally, you don't have too much trouble with the Tamiya stuff, to be honest with you, but on them rare occasions, at least you know you've given it plenty of drying time. I was going to do a quick test dry fit of this. I've got my instructions at the back there just so that I can check this is going on the correct way round. And I like to dry fit all my stuff beforehand just to make sure it's all going to go together okay. And if there are any issues that I need to adjust, I can see them quite clearly before it's all painted up. As you can see, that is a reasonably good fit straight away. Here we're just putting on some bits and pieces on the frame. And this is a carbon box frame, folks. So yeah, look at that. Well, actually, I think it's magnesium box section. Got two halves of the swing arm here going together. Like so. Again, just check that everything is going to fit. It's been dry fitted. Now I can put the gloopy glue in and give this a good squeeze, and then I shall go along with this at a later stage with me sanding stick just to refine the join if I need to. But I tend to put the glue on and then not join them straight away. I let it go a little bit tacky so that then when I do squeeze I can just give it a quick rub with my thumb and it will fill any voids. Now I've got to start drilling out these brake discs, folks. For me, just gives a little bit more detail in it. So you've already got the kit plastic moulded with holes in it. But I find just running a drill bit through it and then going around, sanding each side to get rid of any burrs, then just run your drill back through it. And it's all painted up. It just looks nice, a little bit extra detail. Makes a huge difference. I'm just running my drills through there. Nice and simple. Don't need much effort with these drill bits. These are the God Hand drill bits. that I'm using, quick release ones. And they really do go through this like a knife through butter, folks. Again, just a couple of turns. That's all it's needed. And it's straight through it. Just work your way around the discs. I also do where the rivet holes are as well. I run the drill through them and drill them out as well. Just adds that little bit extra detail. And then just clean the swarf out your drill bits afterwards. Put them safely away in their case. Job's a good one. Right. Just going round now, taking off any little teeny nubs and imperfections off the half of the tank. And then we'll be putting these two halves together. And then there's going to be a big old seam at some point that we'll need to get shot of on this. Can be a bit of a pain to do, but you can get rid of the seam. It is quite straightforward when you've done it a few times, folks. The preparation is the key. Just get rid of any little bits that you don't need off of the actual halves, any nubs, etc. Give them a smooth down. And then we'll be using Tamiya white cap glue on this, rather a lot of it as well on each half, just so that we could really squeeze the kit plastic out. Okay. It works for me. There's more than one way of doing this, but this little way I do it works for me. I've not had any issues over the years, so got my little drawer full of sanders there ready, just in case. And then we'll go through and we'll finesse each half of the plastic, getting it all ready. So I've got my glue stand just to me right. And then we'll grab the bits and pieces that we need for the following task. I just want to make sure that I've got my extra fin and my white cap ready. And then we can grab one of these, rest my thumb in there because that part's not going to be glued. And we can just start dabbing the glue nice and neatly along each half like so. I forget to do that back part where the peg is and then come along there like that. Okay. And just spin that round and we can start lining this up. Little peg on there and there's one on the back there. And then give it a little squeeze on the back. And then we're just going to give that a little bit of a squeeze just to start squeezing the kit plastic out. Just like that. Okay. Might need a little bit of pressure. And you'll see a little bead form as it squeezes it out. And that's what we're after. Same with the bottom part there. Just give it a squeeze so that the bead comes out. And then I'll go along the inside with some extra thin cement, which is a welding glue. And that'll actually join the halves together by welding. And it'll also thin the white cap out a bit and just let it squeeze out a bit freer. Okay. So that's what we want. It's coming along nicely now. I'll just run a bit of extra fin along there. And that will reactivate that bead. Just along the top there by that fuel cap. And again, another squeeze. Like that. And I'm reasonably happy with how that's coming along. So I'll put that at the back and let that now dry thoroughly. Same with this front mudguard or fender if you're in the US. Work your white cap cement along the edge of one half, just like so. Grab the other half. Now there's a couple of little rebates in one side and the tabs in the other. So just line them up. And again, similar to what we did with the fuel tank, just give them a little squeeze. Just to start oozing that plastic out. That's what you want. Now these are a little bit fiddly to handle because obviously if you put too much pressure on, it'll ping apart. So I've got a big magnifier just in front of my face that I was using. Same with the frame half has been done, and now I'm going over the seam with a layer of gloopy glue white cap. So I'm actually painting it on as it's almost like a layer of paint. I'll do the same on this half, and I'll build it up so it forms its own layer. And this is what I'll be polishing back, just to get rid of the seam. So I'll spread it across the whole surface, like so. Just create a layer. Like that. And it'll form almost like a rather thick gloss coat. It's the best way of describing it. When you run a buffing stick over it, it'll smooth it down and it'll become one piece. We'll just let them dry and see how we start looking when it comes to cleaning them up. So I'll just put that on a cocktail stick just to see whether we can safely put that somewhere without putting any pressure on that glue. Also, it gives me a chance to clean them holes out. Just like that. That'll do. Rest that there. Right. Have a look at that tank. Look at that buffing stick out. Just run it across just to see whether or not we can start losing that seam. And I'm just running my thumb across there just to see whether I can detect whether there's any more work that needs doing on there. Just fill a little bit in the middle there. Just scrape that with my knife. Just to bring that back. And then we can start buffing that off. There's just a raised surface there of plastic where it squeezed it through. So just grab my sanding stick. Start working that across that edge. And then we can start doing little circular motions. And that will begin to get rid of that raised bead. Just keep going backwards and forwards until it's gone, folks. That's all you need to do. Same goes with this fuel tank. Just going backwards and forwards across the seam. Keep going over it nice and quick like so. Work our way around the front there where the headstock's going to go as well. Just like that. And then we'll start switching to our other sanders now. So I'll get my mat out and clean my sander. Just quickly want to do that raised bit just there. Get shot of that because it will bug me otherwise. And then we can start now. Give that a quick clean and then work our way through grit by grit now. Just to start getting this all finagled and looking rather good. Again now, just quickly go over what you've done. Same process, back and forth across the seam. Clean your sanding stick, in between. And then quickly scoot across. Like so. And that's already beginning to look rather splendid, folks. So I'm just going to work my way through my drawing. I've got these in sequential order, these sanding pads. So I could just literally stand the draw on its end like that and work my way from top to bottom, both sides. And I know then once I've got them all on the bench, I'm done. Remember to clean them after each use. Stops all the grit getting clogged up in the sanding pad. And again, they're just back and forth, piece by piece. Put the work in and you'll be rewarded with a beautiful join-free fuel tank. It's worth the effort, folks. There you go. What you want to do. And then I'll start underneath again. Get rid of that. Right round the back there where the seat joins. Don't want that there, do we? And again, I'll do the same process. Back and forth, back and forth. It just lets you see how this process is done. For those that haven't done it before, now you know how to. It's that simple. Clean that off. And just quickly, same process, go over what I've just done there. And you're basically repeating this around the piece, folks, until you're happy. Same with front mudguard, do the same there. It gets rid of any imperfections, because when you come to paint it, believe you me, your paint will show up every single blemish. So you don't want that. So I'll just quickly put them pads in there, ready for the next use. Here you go. You start now getting ready to buff this down. Try not to drop me sanders though. Here you go. Because what we want on this is we want it keyed so that the primer's got a key to go on. But we want to just check this seam first, just to make sure I'm happy. Because I am a bit of a fussy old Festa. Scoot across. I know this is boring, but I was asked to film this. So going forward, I won't need to show this process in any other videos. It will just be a quick build time lapse, and then we'll do the paint. But I've been specifically asked to film this way. So just quickly checking my seam with me big eyes of seeingness next to me. I can now happily buff this nice and smooth. So there you go. Kipper, you'll be pleased to know, mate, that's how you do it, fella. Just like so. It works for me. It should work for you. I'm sure there's better ways and other ways of doing it, but that's what works for me. Look at that. Nice one. Yeah. So we should now have happy Kipper. Right. Same with the mudguard, same process. Job done. Right, let's get the rest of the last bits and pieces together, and then we'll give this episode a wrap. This is the paddock stand that the bike will be sitting on. As you can see at the back there, pretty much everything is in its sub-assemblies ready for the next stage, which is going to be all of the painting stage of this build. So that will be in the next episode, folks. But in the meantime, what I will say is if you would like to become a patron, consider doing so by heading over to patreon.com/Festa67's workshop. Remember, you can become a member of the YouTube channel by clicking the join button below. But the most important thing, hit that subscribe button below, folks. It's free. It really does help me grow my channel, and I really do appreciate it. Also, Wendy, many thanks for sending me this bike. You are an utter darling. You really are. I am over the moon with this build, and hopefully you like what you see, darling, because yeah, really is a nice bike. So again, thank you very kindly for your generosity. Big hugs are issued. So we'll just join this together, just like that. Again, give it a squeeze, because we can get rid of the join. So yeah, if it looks like it's supposed to be a visible join, you can weld it together with a fake weld seam. So yeah, but that's the stand that the bike's going to go on. And bear in mind the clear plastic parts, that's where the wheels are for these. So again, when I do them, I tend to go over them with a sanding stick just to give them a key, take the gloss off of it so that when you give them a paint doesn't peel off the clear. I'll just give that a squeeze. Put that to one side. As you can see, it's a really quick build, folks. You can't go wrong with a Tamiya bike. You really can't. They're what we in the community call shake and bake kits. You pretty much shake the box and out comes the finished build. They really do go together brilliantly. And if you are a bike buff like myself, you can't go wrong with these kits. You really can't. I love this kit so much that I'm going to get another one because, yeah, I want to do a side-by-side build on a pair of them. I've got this idea for one that I fancy doing. It's just something about the mock-up stage of the build that sparked an idea in my head. So you know what I'm like when I get an idea, folks. I get a bit carried away. So in the meantime, thank you for watching. Bye-bye for now.
chance to be ruthless.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down,